Well, a lovely look at Lake Nipissing here in North Bay, Ontario, Canada. We're in the northern part of Ontario, right in the center of Canada, for the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Of course, Lake will be thawing out soon and spring around the corner, but first a World Championship to determine a world champion here in 2018. As everyone heading down to the North Bay Memorial Gardens, as we have our feature game coming up. It is Germany taking on Canada, session 5. And let's meet the teams here in our feature game. For Germany, their lead, Pia-Lisa Scholl. Second, Annalena Jentsch. Their third, Amira Abbas. And their skip, Daniela Jentsch. Coming in at 0-2, they will take on Canada, who sits at 2-0. Their lead, Dawn McEwen. Second, Jill Officer. Third, Caitlin Laws. And their skip, Jennifer Jones. 2008 world champion. And here's how we shape up heading into this 5th session. Russia and Sweden atop at 3-0, followed by Canada, Japan, and Korea. USA at 2-1, while China is at 1-1. Italy 1-2, then Czech Republic, Denmark, and Germany all at 0-2. Scotland and Switzerland round out the field at 0-3. In session 5, here's the other games going on sheet A. It's Japan at 2-0 taking on Switzerland 0-3. Our games on sheet B, Germany and Canada. On sheet C, it is Denmark at 0-2 taking on Korea, who sit at 2-0. Czech Republic takes on China on sheet D. Well, thanks for tuning in here to the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. I am Luke Coley, joined with Sandra Rolvag as we get set for this evening's session. The handshakes are out, as you see before each game. Teams are just waiting for the good game, good curling, and time to get out on the ice and have some more action.
Yeah, great atmosphere in the Memorial Gardens again this evening here in North Bay. It's a party already.
Everyone's ready to go. It's the day after St. Patrick's Day, a Sunday night. Everyone wanting to cheer Canada on, and all the other teams, of course, obviously in the home country, a little more fan support than others, but you're seeing strong contingents from a lot of teams that have family and friends come over to watch the World Championship.
But also a very respectable crowd here in North Bay. They're very good at applauding and cheering on the other teams when they make good shots. So it seems like the people of North Bay just enjoy good curling.
Well, let's hope we have some good curling here this evening. We saw all the games and that are out on the ice. Of course, 4 games out there, the 13-team field. The music going on to pump everybody up, and some teams dancing more than others out there, and some down to the business, just awaiting their game to begin. Germany, Canada, both different sides of the standings. And Canada, no surprise where they're at so far.
Yeah, they've been looking pretty solid so far. Germany, like you said, they failed to pick up a win, and Daniela Drindel has never beaten Canada at a World Championship in juniors nor women's. 0-7. But Jennifer Jones does have some bad memories playing Germany in the past. Did lose that 1-2 page to Andrea Schupp back in 2010, and was it Swift Current?
It was in Swift Current, the first go around.
So, yeah. Let's see if that comes into mind.
Well, and seems so long ago, 8 years. Jennifer Jones has retooled her team since then and changed a little bit throughout the years. And now has this lineup, and it'll change again next year. Of course, Jill Officer on her last, announcing that she's going to retire at the end of this curling season. They're making another 4-year run. They're bringing in Jocelyn Peterman, who played for Chelsea Carey at the Worlds just a couple years ago in Swift Current. So we begin here right away. It will be Canada that will have the hammer to start. They'll throw the yellow stones. Germany has the red. And it's been 10 years since Jennifer Jones won her only World Championship. This is her sixth trip to a World Championship, and hoping to add a second world title to that long list of achievements for the well-decorated Canadian skip. So look at the two skips there, and Pia-Lisa Scholl, the 26-year-old, will get this game going.
Okay. Das nächste Mal lassen wir ihn einfach davor, wenn so knapp ist.
Well, that one half into the rings, so if it was out, I think we probably would have saw the come around by Team Canada. Normally a very aggressive team. Well, and right on the nose.
It didn't come off too bad, but I had my broom on it the whole time. That's pretty fast. Yeah.
That's it.
Schaut besser aus. 5, 6.
Das ist gut.
Ring ist gut. Vorne 4.
Muss curlen.
Vorne 4.
Bisschen curlen. Schneller. Auf Curl.
Vorne 4.
Curl schon noch lang aus.
Well, with that nose hit out in front in the free guard zone, the draw round is the call.
Schön, Pia.
Gut. Gleiche Länge.
Okay.
Well, it is Canada with the hammer. They just want to. They'll hit a little flop to the side.
I can't believe she even hit it. Good.
Can't believe she even hit it. A comment from Skip Jones. Maybe threw that a little bit outside, but first then you might see the ice just be a little tracky already in the first. Might be some bite to the pebble inside the draw path. But so far the ice has been looking quite uniform, and draw weight's been really good. And it tends to move quite a bit as well.
Well, Jennifer didn't waste any time to make the call. Let's go play the split. Get both of them in, because that one's just half into the rings in the back of the 12-foot. I stand corrected it. Now playing to the wing. Freezing on that one.
Real good, Jill.
Pretty good first stone for Officer. Drawing to the wing in the first 10, sometimes a bit of a guess. play so many draws to the forfeit to win the last stone advantage in the draw shot challenge. But again, the ice has been fairly easily read.
Okay.
Oh, and a mistake there. They end up taking the backing away. They're trying to pick that yellow one out.
I think I like here now.
Top four is ideal.
Yeah.
We're going around today.
Yeah.
Yeah, for line. Hey, little light. Really hard line. 8 foot, baby. Really hard. Never off. Never off. Hard. Gotta go.
Well, end to end they go on this one.
Go.
Just try and get another one in. Just barely gets that one into the rings.
Went that far. Caitlin. Yeah. Okay.
Well, a couple things already surprising Jennifer Jones and listening in on the mics that surprised it went that far.
Schneller. Schneller.
So Mira Abyss, the third for Team Germany. Well, hits, rolls over to the side, gets away with that jam in the back.
Another big sweep here.
This one they won't get, and heard the comment, thought it on the last one, and they're amazed it got that far. It got in Caitlin's head a little bit, threw a little bit quieter, and they weren't able to drag it as far.
Abbas just looking to make the hit on the wing here. That's a nice hit and stick. Yeah, just going a slightly wider than the button path. You might see it be a tad bit slower. Now they played her a few times, so it should be a better guess this time by Caitlin Laws. Weight's not too bad this time, just couldn't quite find the line.
You can probably see about half of that one.
Langsam kommst, dass den kriegst, wenn hängen bleibst, schiebst den halt Shot. Und mit dem Peel, glaube ich, weiß ich nicht, ob er hängen bleibt.
So, ja. Ja, ich würde schon normal, wahrscheinlich ist besser, oder?
Ja, normal oder
Mit normal, wenn wir hängen bleiben, wird dann auch Shot schieben. Ist halt die Frage, ob wir nicht einfach legen.
Ich finde Legen eigentlich auch nicht schlecht.
Ja.
Ich muss erstmal was
Ja.
machen.
Wenn sie kann, halt über den dann immer schießen.
Tempted to play that out turn come around as opposed to try and chase that one.
Mitte kennen wir ja gut.
Yeah, because chasing it's pretty hard to stick around to sit to. You'll still leave the draw for Canada. And the danger is if you over curl, you might catch the guards, promote one of them in.
Halb habe ich ihn, oder?
Ja. Ich glaube, der geht schon.
Would be quite unlucky or unskilled to do so, but still possible. And the draw is the call. Staggered guards. Good opportunity.
Was haben wir über die Spur?
Probably the higher percentage shot right here.
You got a little more room to work with, even if you're not perfect. You have some options. You go deep. Canada might have to follow you down. You might be able to get a force out of it.
Auf geht's.
Ja, und sonst wischen
Vom
wir.
Eis her
Dann schauen.
passt's, oder? Zum Schluss können wir ja auf Curl gehen.
Genau. Das passt.
Einfach zum Schluss über die Centerline.
Ja.
Ich glaube, der braucht.
Linie ist gut.
Ist
5.
okay?
Ja.
Schauen.
6. Länge ist
Von
gut.
außen, von außen.
Muss
Ganz
curlen. 4. Ist noch Bauch.
Viel curlen.
Muss noch viel curlen.
Viel curlen.
5.
Viel curlen.
Muss viel curlen. Muss sehr viel
Über die Center.
Krieg den hier.
Halt!
Linie, Linie.
Dann hier.
Ja, gerne.
Weiter geht's. Voll auf curlen.
Alles,
Voll
alles,
auf
alles,
curlen.
alles, alles,
Ja.
alles, alles.
Halt.
Weiter geht's.
Voll durch. Voll durch.
Okay, gut.
Okay.
Well, needed just a couple more feet, and that one would have been just golden instead. Still open for Canada to hit.
Okay. Schon gut. Ticken weniger Eis vielleicht.
Okay.
Try to roll it frozen if we can.
Jen?
Okay.
Let's make this.
Well, Jennifer Jones
Good.
in her sixth trip to the World Championship.
Close. Oh. Yep. Yes. Hard.
Well, they hope to try and roll to a freeze, but just get the separation to lie 1-2.
Nice shot, Jen.
Yeah, even roll
Jen.
just a foot or two further makes it real hard for Germany to make the hit and roll back without jamming. But should have that opportunity now. Hit this yellow, try and roll in behind cover. It's a pretty long roll, but definitely makeable.
Yeah, and it's a little easier because it's not just rolling behind one stone. There's a few there she can roll behind.
What was that?
I had a 9-7 on. Ich denke so 10, 15 ist schon normal.
Ja.
Du machst je nach Gefühl.
Das geht gut.
So Daniela Jentsch, fourth straight trip to a World Championship. Trying to make the hit and roll under. Well, it won't. It actually roll away. So an open draw to the 8-foot.
Right on the edge. I think I could throw
Chance for
same as
Canada to
last
get
time.
off to another great start.
Schau, dass du nicht verrutscht mit dem Besen, bitte. Es war mega viel schon wieder von hinten.
Okay.
Ja, es war wirklich so viel. Ich habe dir so viel gegeben.
Hey, Jen.
I think draw to the buttons close. You didn't throw yours very hard, Jill.
No, I agree. And I had a 14-5 on hers.
Yeah.
So
I had a 14-3, so.
Yeah, me too.
let's go, Jen. Let's make this.
It's out wider.
No. Looks like lots still.
Do not touch it.
Well, needs the 8-foot, and they need this one.
Should come down, Caitlin.
Talking about it, wanting to grind.
Should be good.
What'd you get? 13.
Well, it does go deep, but they do get their 2 points. And an early 2-0 Canada lead. Here it's the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Welcome back inside the North Bay Memorial Gardens. Luke Coley, Sandra Rovog bringing you live coverage. Germany taking on Canada. Germany has the hammer as we play here in this second end. Canada got a deuce in the first. Capitalized with the hammer.
So normally when a team is up in the game, they'll come into the house. No need to throw the guard, knowing that Germany will throw a corner here to try and score 2 back. This one must have picked up something, I think, Luke.
Yeah, I'm not sure what occurred there. That one, bizarre being in that spot.
Yeah, just pulled up way short of the hog line. I think we'll give Pia-Lisa Scholl enough credit to not make a mistake like that.
Yeah, she's going to be pretty close on that. She's a veteran at these and will know what the ice is going to do.
Well, if you're going to have a pickup this week, that's not the worst time. But of course, it does sort of kill the end a little bit for Germany. Can't throw another corner guard in the free guard zone.
Well, now Canada brings the play to the center. Put up a perfect centerline guard.
And a technical timeout for Germany. It seems to be a faulty handle. So the eye in the hog technology.
Yeah, I think it's the same rock in practice that didn't activate.
Either a malfunction or just the battery's a bit dead. I believe the umpire will probably come on and...
Yeah, I see her making her way down there. They'll just go watch on the hog line.
When they do take a technical timeout, their clock will stop. So they're not losing any time.
I'm sorry, I think now it works, but sometimes it's flashing during I'm holding it, so it shouldn't. I'm just, yeah, okay.
And if it's flashing, there's a strip in the ice, so when it crosses, it'll go off green if they release it before red. If they're still contacting the handle as they release it past the hog line.
It's just supposed to be flashing green when you're not holding it, and then you hold it. But maybe it was flashing both red and green. That's often a sign that it's low on battery, but sometimes they act up a little bit.
Technology.
But overall, it's been a lot better than the umpire with the human eye.
And you have two of them sitting on each side and having to sit and watch. And tough on the umpire as well. It's tough to stay focused as well because you're not just watching one game, you're watching all 4.
Yeah. Of course, that takes the flow out of the game a little bit for Germany. So it's a little tougher to throw after a technical timeout like that. Having to reset, and this just over curls. Takes the guard, sits in the open.
A real nice shot. Rolls right up underneath the lie 2.
I think it's quiet, but...
Wait, it was okay?
9-3.
Oh, it wasn't big, I didn't think.
Huh? Well, whatever.
Jenscha realizing it's time to bail out with those yellows lining up so nicely for Canada. But Anna-Lena just able to peel off the guard, which is not going to change very much. Canada will just replace it. So unless they get a mistake from Canada, they're going to have to make a run back and make some contact here to spill it open.
Line's good. Halfway. Okay, make sure you're tight. You got a bit more line here than Jill's. Got to be tight on this line. Well, if you can. Needs to cross. You got to be tight to get it here.
See both the sweepers switching over to try and carve this one in.
Go, Caitlin. Come on, you got it. Go.
Get some extra finish.
Go. You got it. Go.
Nice shot. Great brushing.
Well, that's something you didn't see a few years ago. One on each side. Normally, if you needed to sweep, both players would sweep. And here now, they're playing it to almost to not necessarily steer the rock. That the one year where they had the different pads. Now they've got a uniform pad on every broom. But you're trying to sweep with and against the curl.
Yeah, basically creating very small scratches in the ice that the stone tends to follow or want to follow. So sweeping against the green, if you will keep it straighter. Sweeping with the curl, make it curl a bit more. And like you said, with the pads which are now banned, it was too effective. But now it's pretty much back to the old days where you do have a slight say on the line, but it's mostly for weight, and it's mostly the thrower will make the shot, although with the top players here, an inch or two will make a huge difference every time.
Absolutely.
Good.
Well, and just making the decision that, you know what, it's not really set up to go for a steal. We're in a position for a force. Let's get rid of that corner guard.
Yeah. Come on.
It was a good shot by Annalena Inch to just open it up and move those yellows off of the center line. Make a couple of good shots here at Germany. They can blanket and try and get that corner guard in place in the third.
Okay.
Good. Held up nice.
Well, ideally, they'd like to be able to get a blank out of it, but that half shot won't help. It's tough to come up with those.
Set up a double. Do you like there?
Sure. I like that.
Okay, 4 foot.
Okay. Might just come up a hair at the end, but it should be okay if we go a little bit tighter ice. But
Yeah, I agree.
Line's good. Off line. Good. Top four. No, whoa. Wait. Sweep for the 8 foot.
Top four. It's all there. T-line.
looks
It's sliding
heavy.
here. T-line.
Back four. Stay good there. Okay.
We've seen in different spots. It seemed like they got caught in the speed a little bit, different paths.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll still find that a wee bit in the early going of a game.
Good.
sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't
Yes,
allow
it
it
can't
to.
be light.
No, and I
It's
just didn't.
sliding way better than yesterday.
I just
Like,
figured it would come up once it got to the middle, but I didn't allow it to get
yeah.
to the middle. Sorry.
And it's still not.
Well, Amira Abyss try and make this double now. But another one, they just are a little bit off. Sometimes you throw that extra weight and gets going a little bit on them.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay, you got it.
Good enough to stick around though. Will force Jennifer Jones to play out in the wide wing.
And if you get a little rollout, maybe
Jen?
chance to get the blank.
Just throwing the bigger weight out here just because I think there might be some fresh pebble. I'm not quite sure how it's going to run here.
Nice try.
Good.
Well,
Sorry.
That one hanging around just enough caused that hit to stay out there.
Weight came off. I thought I threw that pretty hard.
It's coming off.
Sorry.
Just threw that a bit too safe. Maybe sometimes
All right.
when you go really
I thought that
wide
was
where you
gonna
haven't
come
thrown any stones
Weight came
in
off,
practice
eh?
nor in the game, you're afraid of there being
think
too
Canada
much
schon
bite in the
Richtung
pebble. You might
10
overcurl and
schlagen.
miss the shot completely. We've seen that many times before. So you add the extra weight, throw a little more inside out. But you hear Jennifer Jones saying a lot of the weight did come off it, just not quite enough for them. A great chance for Jens to make the open hit and steer for the blank.
Well, great sweep there. Scholl and Jens able to hold that one. On it most of the way here, so
Back to the house. I think it'll curl here.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Again! Back!
Well, just wanting to make the nose hit.
With them. Two.
So this will be to keep the hammer for Germany. Daniela Jentsch. Would love to try and set up with the corner guards in that third end. Well, trying to keep the hammer hit, roll it out, and they'll be able to get that one out of the rings. So it'll mean a blank end, and Germany will retain the hammer. Head to the third end. It is 2-0, Canada leading after 2.
Aber ich war mir nicht sicher.
Well, Don McEwen will get us going. We start the third end here. Luke Oley, Sander Rovog. You're watching live coverage of the Ford World Women's Curling Championship 2018 from North Bay Memorial Gardens. very intimate type feel here in the building. Fans right in to the action here. Lots of applause for not just the Canadian team, but all the games going out on the ice. Start off the centerline guard for Don McEwen.
It really tells me that Canada would like to try and force Germany to score a 1 here so they can get that last stone advantage back and try and score another 2. Try and take away again from Germany and build a solid lead coming into halftime. This time we'll see the corner guard find a pretty good spot for Scholl.
1 yellow.
Is that where you're looking for this corner guard? See lots of swing in the ice, so
yeah, it's pretty perfect there, just at the top or even on that Ford logo. Don't want to come so tight that it's hard to come around. And also, if you come too tight, it'll too easy for a player like Jill Officer to maybe make the run back and roll onto the rings. So it's a pretty good spot there, I think. I think by throwing the centre guard, Canada was hoping to maybe lure Germany to come around the centre, try and bring the play onto the centre line and to get the force that way. But Germany throws a corner anyway. And again, a technical timeout for Germany.
I'm sorry, it's the same rock. Maybe you can check the handle after the end or just watch because I don't want to have a break every shot, okay?
Manches geht so rum. Manches geht so.
Ja.
Weil dann hätten wir zur Not den.
Well, Sandra, at this point,
Yeah?
good point by Pia-Lisa Scholl. Don't really want to have that break every time I throw.
Yeah, but now she's made that point a few times, so even if she throws it and it would light up red for some reason for Team Canada, you would almost have to say, well, clearly there's been problems with that stone, we're not going to penalise you for it, I would think. But you want to be on the safe side for sure. That is the World Championship. We again do see a bit of a half shot from Scholl. It can really disrupt the focus. And that's why she made that comment too. Holy Cap on the bench for Germany. He's enjoyed some good times in Canada before.
Yeah, went on one heck of a run with his brother in 2007 in Edmonton, winning the silver medal.
Off, don't even look at it. Not big. Clean.
Don't even look at it. That's never a good line call.
Clean up.
You don't want to hear that as a sweeper.
Yep. Go. That's the only thing I didn't want to do.
But actually, over curls in the end. The only thing she didn't want to do, Jennifer Jones said, and that's leave a pocket here, a bit of a wall.
Yeah.
Anywhere Germany puts a stone in front of those yells would be hard to remove. Catchers, you might call them.
Yeah, the old stone behind the T line that causes trouble.
Ist noch Curlen? Ist noch auf der Guard? Jetzt Curlen?
Nein!
Oh.
There's a saying in Norway that, at least from the team with hammers point of view, every stone behind the T-line is your friend.
Well, it makes sense, and this one will go right in between them.
Schaut, dass er in die Zone reinkommt, weil sonst wird's echt.
See Canadian national team coach Elaine Dagg-Jackson. Of course, the regular team coach Wendy Morgan not here. She was working with the Canadian wheelchair team at the Paralympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. So is over there and just getting back and be here in the next couple days.
Well, she coached at the Paralympic Games in 2010 in Vancouver, and the team picked up the gold, so no wonder they want her back.
They went on to, they did win a bronze medal in South Korea was China winning the gold medal, Norway finishing second.
You gotta finish this. No, it's gotta
Way heavy. Go. It's gotta be above the tee. Go. Good shot.
So right down to the button, lie 2 for Team Canada. Well, just a long wait on this one. They didn't want to go.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
You always hear lots of discussion about rocks, but it's rocks and stones and what each are doing.
Go.
Trying to roll it on the paint, but end up running it back. It's still shot stone for Canada. But all these teams are always watching, trying to match. They'll have practice after the evening session tonight to try and get ready for their stones for the next day.
We've got this right now.
Can we just draw top?
And quite often the coaches and the alternates have the longest
Yeah.
days.
No matter we
We'll have to
hit
come in for every
roll
game,
off
and
that tight one.
they stay quite
I don't know.
late for the evening
Yeah.
practice.
But
They make that.
yeah. I don't know. I don't mind coming in.
I don't mind that.
Okay. 9.5?
Yeah.
Roll it, Jill. Go. Keep her going. Okay, whoa.
Good shot, Caitlin.
Good.
Nice, Caitlin. My girl.
Well, they make that hit and roll off it. They like another counter in the rings. More and more pressure on every shot that Germany plays. You see just a lone Redstone in the
Ja, ich
house.
denke schon, wir müssen da rein.
Ja,
Ja,
ist
aufholen. Nochmal so.
Auf geht's.
Schon intern, oder? Ja. Genau. Sauber. Ja. Ja, auf alles. Alles, halt ihn da.
I'll get one, get the second.
Oh.
But we'll spin out of the rings.
Gut so.
Just so much action and spin on that one. It moved a lot more off those 2 yellow stones than they thought.
Yeah, I think the nose is good.
Yeah, stones are quite
I
lively,
like
which is
here.
good
Clean weight.
for removing them, but also makes it hard to keep the shooter around.
Caught that second and then just started to spin, and the more it spins, the further it'll continue to go.
Oh! Is that the clean? Clean it. Yep. Hard. Yes. Hard. Hard. Good.
Good, Caitlin.
Canada lies 3, but at least everything's in the open for Germany.
Shot.
They could get second shot in behind the corner.
Ja, ist gut. Genau. Ja. Von innen wieder?
Yeah.
Yeah, almost thought maybe even just play the straight draw behind the corner.
Yeah, don't mind that, Luke. Just it's all very much about what you leave your opponent, right? So if you're just gonna make a hit and sit in the open, Canada's gonna take your stone out. You gotta put them in some tricky spots. That's the only way you're gonna force errors from this Canadian team.
Well, look at that.
Whoa.
Or just make the triple. Great line call and reaction by Daniela in the house.
Yeah, don't think that was a call, but
Thought
like
it
you
was
said,
just the hit and roll, or even make the double on the
double
side.
and roll, I think was the call. But yeah, great line call by Jens.
Nachdem ich meinen Herzinfarkt hatte.
Why not just play that all day? That's a pretty good result too.
Yeah, now you still have the corner guard. You see what happens if Jones noses this. You have a chance to hit and roll, and you make a good hit and roll. You could get a skip's deuce in the end.
And maybe worst case, you get the blank. You can try again.
Ja, ist okay so.
Want to keep this in the forfeit.
Yep. Roll it. All right, Jill. Yep. Good.
And they will. Nicely played.
Well, they'll try and roll this one long over to the other side. Harold playing the third end.
Your hit.
Versuchen wir das nochmal mit dem Besen.
So machen wir schon. Gefühl geht auch, haben wir gesehen.
You can look at it.
Eigensinn. Auf geht's.
Auf geht's. Auf die
Ja.
Nase.
Ja, ganz normal.
Genau.
Jennifer Jones, 3 medals at the World Championships. Pryor looking for a second gold medal. One of each color right now.
Yep. Come on.
Daniela Jentsch is trying to get a medal of her own. She'd love to be on the podium here.
Let me fall.
Needs to get win number 1 here today.
I think they're just looking to play the nose hit here. Just realizing if they roll in behind the corner, it'll be behind the tee and Jennifer Jones plays the freeze, you're forced. But this one ends up rolling halfway there anyway.
Okay.
So gut.
Over curling.
Yeah, I'll throw the same weight.
So that's going to leave Jones a chance to make the hit and roll herself.
Gut, also der hat auch so ein starkes Finish gemacht, der da.
It's a hair lash. Oh, yep. Oh.
Officer McEwen try and make the roll. And makes the roll. Will just hang around back of the 12-foot.
Good, Jen.
Yeah, might make this blank a bit snug.
Just that much, yeah. Okay.
It's no real walk in the park where it
Should've
sits.
just, yeah. One of those I knew we had to. Looks like your looks 3/4 high.
Does have a bit of room on the corner.
Really finishes.
But she's forced to play the out turn quite often.
Anyway.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You want to play these from the outside in. I know for some players this is the least preferred throw.
Ansonsten lassen wir ihn überkörlen.
Visually to
Andy,
the
wenn's
eye, it
mehr
could probably
curlt,
seem a
lass
little
mal
bit
einfach
off.
überkörlen dann.
Okay.
Still very makeable here. Hit and run out, blank at the end. And try again. I think Germany will be quite patient with their chances in this game.
Yep. Ganze Weg. Oh, yep. Ganze Weg. Yep. Hard, Pia. Hard. Go.
Now they want to try and roll this one out. Won't be able to, and will have to take a
Mine's
single
Fila.
point
Okay.
on the blank try. Daniela Jentsch and Germany on the board, but they're hoping to keep
Hätten wir
it
gleich umentscheiden müssen.
2-0. Instead, it's 2-1 heading to the 4th end. Well, look at the other scores going on right now. Japan, Switzerland 1-1. Japan with the hammer in the third. Our game sheet beat Canada leading 2-1. They have the hammer heading to 4. No score yet. Denmark and Korea in the third end. While the Czech Republic leads 2-1, has the hammer in the fourth end over on sheet D. Well, Danielle Jentsch unable to stick around. She ends up, or pardon me, roll out. She ends up taking a single point. It means that Canada and Jennifer Jones will have the hammer back. We get going here in this fourth end. So centerline guard starts it off. And here's a little difference in strategy, the centerline guard. So Canada now will go in behind. Dawn McEwen, 100% on the game, 83% for the event. Well, good come around. Top of the 8-foot. You see that? I've seen this a few times from Germany in a couple games that I've covered. They put the centerline guard and come around's made in the top part of the ring, so they play the run back.
Yeah, it's not a bad call if you can make them, because if you make the freeze, you're almost just in the 12 foot. Quite often you'll see a team just draw to the wing, back of the tee, sit 2, and you're already a bit on the back foot. If you can make this run, stick it in behind cover, it's really good. But
just misses that one.
Yeah, not making contact there and rolling over. Essentially a corner guard, that's not a very great option.
T-line really just isn't natural, so
Middle, yeah.
or we go back here, it's not terrible. Okay.
Yeah, then I'd say hair more.
Hair more.
This is quite a bit tighter path.
Okay.
This should curl here. Sorry.
A lot of discussion, different paths. We've seen different speeds and different paths for the ice here so far. It's really trying to get a feel. This is their only game of the day. They haven't been out on the ice yet.
Think you got room. You should get there.
And they'll just play one again tomorrow, so not quite able to get into that regular routine with the schedule that these teams have.
Well, just the bite on this line. We're not even close to buried. So
We're about full rock.
okay.
Yeah, there'll even be quite a few back-to-back games.
Thought I could hit it early.
I agree. I thought they would curl more.
Which you're not really used to playing, especially not 10 ends.
Yeah, you don't play those a lot, and these teams have. It's the 4th straight trip for Jentsch and her German team. Jennifer, this is trip number 6, so she knows the format and how it plays out. Where you normally play in the opening weekend, you're playing 3 games. Same thing here, but they played 2 yesterday, had 2 draws off. And it changes up your mindset because you're used to playing 2 games every day with 1 draw off. It's going to be different throughout the week.
Without having checked too thoroughly, I assume it's pretty much the same for all teams, though. So
Just touching it up. Okay.
they've tried to make that as fair as possible for everyone.
I like this better. Yeah.
But with 13 teams and 4 sheets, it's, you know, just
Yeah,
how
it's
it
not
works
going
out.
It happens sometimes. It'll be, both these teams will have the anomaly of 2 straight days of just playing 1 game. But little rest early isn't a bad thing.
Hard.
Shooting the lights out so far, Jill Officer.
Hard. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Yep. Looks heavy. Is it heavy? Go.
Closer to a 9.
I'm just curious. 14-4 and a 14-2.
I think Jocelyn Peterman will be nervous watching. the games, knowing who she's taking over for.
That is the shoes that she will be filling in, Jill Officer. And if you missed it, we mentioned earlier, Jill has announced that she's going to be retiring at the end of the year. And former Canadian champion with Chelsea Carey playing second. It's going to be joining this team. As the double just narrowly missed by Annalena Jentsch. And it is a 2-1 game, Sandra, but it's Canada's definitely controlled play for most of the game so far.
Yeah, I'd say so. Germany hasn't really had too many chances. They've had some, they just haven't really taken the big risk yet.
Yeah, this is good. You have all of it. Hey?
So maybe just wanting to keep this game as tight as possible, and then maybe taking a little more risk later on if they have to.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Good.
Well, Canada lying 2 again, trying to be methodical and get their 2 with the hammer.
Manageable. It's 10.5. Yeah. Throwing that spot a little light because I'm sliding wide, so I'm not really following through quite the same. Yeah.
Well, if you think you're the better team coming in, sometimes you'll see the favorite teams just try and play a simple game, just maybe expecting to make more shots than your opponent, score some easy deuces and play for the force, keep it simple. It's 10 ends, so you have lots of time. Most important thing is not to panic.
Get a nose is good. Sure. Throw here. Jill's run nice.
On the other side of things, you'll see sometimes if you feel like you're the underdog coming into the game, you might want to try and bring a lot of stones into play to just mix it up. Maybe get a big score, have one good end.
Hard.
You see 83% for Caitlin Laws.
Yep. Hard. Yep. That a girl. Good rush. Good.
Well, right to the nose there. Putting that one right on the beat to lie to. Yeah, and these teams have members that'll be watching who they're playing next, seeing any tendencies. They'll look at the shot reports after each game, digging deep to see, is there a tendency we can pick up on, something we can use to our advantage?
Schneller als der eben.
Ich wollte gerade sagen,
Der war schneller, ja.
Wow, there's a hit rollout. There's one of those half shots you were talking about, Sandra.
Yeah, Don's, we had a broom on it the whole time, but it wasn't bad.
Not able to generate any offense, Team Germany.
This looks like this is more than my ice.
Yeah, we don't need to fully bury.
And when they have a chance to sit 2 and get the force, well, they roll out. And this is now a great chance for Caitlin Laws. Coming around that corner.
Okay, Rube, let it work.
Score an easy 2, up by 3. Things will then look quite comfortable.
Should be fun to get off. Wait as long as you can. No lie to fight the house, guys. Wait as long as you can.
This one is far off of getting
Go,
buried.
go.
You ever just get edge to edge would be pretty good though.
Nice speed.
Does get there in the end, I think.
Yeah, it's the thing with cheap ice technician Jamie Brassie. You're always going to see a lot of late finish on his ice.
I don't know why they're sweeping it, to be honest, but
I had a 14.6. Really that fast? Doesn't look that
it
fast.
feels like 4.25 to me. But it feels nice.
Well, they got the right side of that one protected, so.
Come on.
Double not available.
Good.
No, and it's high enough in the house for Germany. Even if they want to make a hit and roll, they're not going to be shot stolen, and there'll still be lots of room for Canada. So they'll try and make the hit and roll off at the top one, try and roll in front of that back yellow, make it a little bit difficult for Jennifer Jones. The set 2 again.
Daniela Jentsch, 79% for both the game and the tournament.
Good.
Well, good sweep. They get to the nose of that one.
Good.
I think you'll see Jones probably just try and nose this back.
Viel Platz hat nicht mehr.
We'll leave a hit and roll off the backstone for Germany, but she'll leave the shooter in the open here.
I have it all.
Canada will be able to use it.
9.5. I think this will curl. The draws are they stay straight until they get to the center line and then they curl. No.
Well, 92%.
No.
Just watch the roll, Dawn.
No. Go big, Dawn.
They're going big on its own. Don't touch it.
Careful. Careful, don't touch it.
Sit. Sit.
Okay. Komm ganz raus.
Okay, then.
Well, that'll hit and roll out, so a mistake that Jennifer hasn't made in this game. There goes the opportunity at the deuce now.
Sorry. Too big? 9?
I think it was about a 9. I didn't.
It's one of those mistakes that give up an end. We've seen that from Denmark in this game, or pardon me, from Germany in this game as well. Saw it from Denmark in an earlier game today. Lots of chances to try and get twos against Japan, but couldn't. And that's the difference between winning games and losing games. So final stone without the hammer, Daniela Jentsch.
Good.
Just that nice, quiet hit weight.
Also schneller als mein sonstiges Normal, deswegen, das meinte ich.
See how easier? No, either one's fine. I think you should be okay.
Okay. I'll throw the in.
Just worried about that Yellowstone if it jams, but even if you stick it perfectly, I think it's out of the rings.
I believe so. So let's see if Jones can do what Jentsch couldn't do in the third.
Oh, right to it. Right to it. Yes, please.
Blank the end.
Nice shot.
Hit, roll out,
Good.
and there's the blanks. So second blank of the game, this time the first with Canada having last rock. They'll keep the hammer heading to the fifth end.
Okay, Jen.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Well, back inside here in North Bay, Canada. Luke Oley, Sandra Rovog, as we continue our coverage. Germany taking on Canada in the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. Germany a 2-1 game, and they got away with that one without giving up a deuce in the last end. Mistake by Jennifer Jones. I thought they might put the center line guard, but they'll come into the top of the house.
Yeah, you could see Canada blank this end with the 1 point lead, try and carry the last stone into the sixth, try and control the even ends, but I think Canada would quite like to start picking up a few more points, try and win the game before the 10th end. And Germany coming into the house saying, well, if you want a blank, it's fine by us. We'll want to keep this game as close as possible for as long as possible. Maybe look to frustrate Canada a little bit. Maybe wait for them to make some aggressive calls and then take advantage. Maybe steal.
Well, the simpler the game, the shorter the game it makes. And you keep it simple, you get one mistake, and maybe you can take advantage and make a big score or get a deuce, get a miss by Canada. And every shot is that much more important than in a low-scoring affair.
Yeah, I think if you told Germany you want to play 2 ends or 10 ends against Jennifer Jones, I think they'll take 2 ends. Might be a bigger chance of winning.
You go all out in those 2 ends, and if you make a mistake in one of them, it's lopsided game anyway. Could end up, but right now 2-1. You get a force, and you get the hammer playing the 6th end. You're in a real good position.
One red. One red.
Well, there's a mistake.
One red.
Now the first from Dawn McEwen in the game, so Germany lying 2.
And slight stagger on the stones top of the house there, and a chance to throw another long center guard. Want to try and keep some distance here. Not come all the way down onto those stones at the top of the house. You know who's coming up next to start opening up.
Easy, 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 easy. Off the center, off the center, off the center.
And that does come a little too close. 10 feet shorter would be perfect. It hasn't really curled enough either.
Yeah, you could actually play the red and get all 3 moving.
Looks like the call here is to play on the yellow. Try and roll the shooter and the yellow off the red towards the right of our screen. Maybe get a stone in behind that corner. And at the same time open up the shot.
Well, Jill Officer, the one that's going to throw it.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that, right in behind.
Yeah, even rubs the shooter off the corner, gets both of them in. That's real nice.
Constructions, der wäre der Beste. Ja, mach mal den.
Oh.
Wir müssen die eigentlich irgendwie aufmachen.
Ja, ist gut so.
Ja, mach mal den.
Well, it's still 1 for Germany right now, but
So.
those stones to the wing are dangerous.
First call from Daniela Jencher was to throw the straight guard, which I was a little bit surprised by, just because they have been playing it slightly defensively. But in the end, it's the they run back, try and hit this corner guard, roll the shooter onto the center line for cover. They also try and kill 1 or 2 stones on the wing here.
Well, look at that back. Pretty good themselves to lie 1-2. So Annalena Jentsch, the younger sister to her skip, Daniela. It's the raised double.
Sehr schön. Super.
They didn't roll the shooter in for a guard for the shot stone, but like you said, rolls in for second shot to sit 2. It's pretty good as well. And she's made a couple of good run backs in this game.
Throw here.
How much, sir? 10. Okay.
Whoa. Go quiet. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No. Never. Super high. Nibbler? Yeah, roll a little bit. That's good. That's fine.
Well, get rid of second shot, but it's not quite in the rings. Still, Germany lying 1. Now I thought we might see that high center guard.
Mein Slack hat schon gut,
Ja,
gell?
wollte ich auch gerade sagen. Ist
So.
gut, machen wir den. Ja,
Den können wir immer noch machen.
ja.
And so we will.
Also ist echt flott.
Do you want to overlap these, or do you want to leave them open if you need to play a run back later?
Well, if you leave too much of an angle, Caitlin Laws might have a run at the slash and get all 3 going.
Ja, halten gerade.
Maybe just touch the center line here, keep it fairly long.
Drüber ist er.
Even if you throw a really long one here,
It's really over curling though too, and it's going to leave shot stone open. So they take the chance throwing the guard and leaves that stone open.
Bumper?
Yeah, hair slower.
yeah, that's always the risk.
Not quite as wide, but at least we can manage it if we roll away.
But really on the wrong side of the tolerance there. Could have undercurled that at almost 2 feet. Will still be pretty tough for Canada.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Just hack. No.
Solid. Are
Solid
we killing
hack.
it?
Solid hack.
No, Jill, get off. Good.
So it is Canada lying 1-2 now.
Okay, I didn't think
The
I was
missed
rolling.
guard.
Genau, auf geht's.
Now what's the out for Germany here?
Well, hit and roll and behind cover. We've seen Abbas over curl quite a few shots in the game.
Mama, sehr schnell.
Yep.
This one's pretty close though.
Haut sie denn für Bomben raus?
Real good effort. They just get the nose hit.
Playing those with quite firm weight. I feel like you can bring the weight quite a bit down there. Let the sweepers come into play. Maybe control the line a bit better. Can even just throw hack weight. Or at least a bumper. See Caitlin Laws here throwing a lot less weight.
Clean it, Jill.
Leave Officer and McEwen a chance to
Off,
do their job.
Off. A little bit, Julie. Go. Good.
Well, they get just the edge of that one underneath.
Yeah, came off without a broom.
So lie 2. As Team Canada, they do have the hammer.
Aber dann wirklich Sicherheit. Sicher an der Guard vorbei. Lieber Räumer da raus.
Genau.
Also wirklich.
Ansonsten Nase und wenn es geht,
Genau, ja.
Schlüssel
Aber
am Schluss.
ansonsten eben nach außen. Also einfach
Aber
sicher
Nase
an der
ist
Guard
auch
vorbei. So. Ja, kam aber sehr schnell an.
Nicht schnell? Normal, aber nicht so
If
Ich will einfach nur, dass wir nicht an der Guard
Daniela Jentsch makes a nose hit here, Canada can't nose back and be in the rings. Might force them to roll towards the other yellow, leave a double, or come around. At least do something else. And also the shooter would leave a more or less a guard for Germany.
Well, Daniela Jentsch, sports soldier out of Germany. Her 4th straight trip to the World Championship. Best finish was 6th.
Okay.
Hits and rolls out, so it's open now. And does Canada
To play that split.
Yeah.
draw in behind?
Okay.
Do they play the split?
Yeah, I like that, eh? So,
I just want to make sure we get it buried. She's got this catcher, right? So I think if we're not buried, you want to make sure she doesn't have a catcher. Like even if we're here, like even if we're back here, not buried, it's not bad. Yeah. Think edge is close?
yeah, I do. You got it, Jen.
It might run better here. I would just keep an eye on it.
So if we're not going to get it buried, you want to be T-line.
Okay.
Not just, yeah. I just don't want her to be able to catch that one on the side. That's all.
Okay.
I guess actually it doesn't really matter. I could have a split, so yeah, it's okay. Just try to get it buried.
Okay, let's go then.
What do you get? Like I haven't thrown very many draws.
It's heavier this side. So I'd say 4 or 5 feet heavier. Then draw to the I know button. this is less ice than me, but
No, it's pretty much the same ice, Dawn.
it's definitely a bit slower than this side.
Yeah, I haven't thrown that side though.
I'd say you can throw
4 or 5 feet heavier than draw to the button.
Yeah.
It doesn't time that, so I'm just.
What is it? What were you getting?
I had a 14.8 on Dawn's that was 12 foot.
Yeah.
So if I threw a 13.7, that would be bite the 4, which is what I threw in the draw to the button. So do you think I could?
Yeah. Nothing less.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of numbers to comprehend there. Look, going on the hog to hog, going to the draw to the button. Jennifer's only thrown 1 draw. That was back in the first end when she drew in to score her 2nd point with the out turn.
I like it.
And this is the in turn.
Yeah, that was a little heavy too.
Yeah.
Back 8 untouched.
No, then no.
Can't afford to be back 8 here. Leave it
no.
freeze for Germany. Wants to be maybe fully in the forfeit, maybe half in the forfeit.
Back 8
This one
still.
is running though.
Give us space. Back 8.
Yeah.
Go back, Jill. Yep.
Back 12.
It's going to be back there on its own if it sticks around.
Okay. Fine. You get 12-8.
12.8.
Yeah, 12-8.
12-8. So Jennifer Jones was thinking to maybe throw a 13-7.
So a second faster than what she won.
Tighter ice
That's
than yours,
quite a bit away from what was planned. So
But the sweeper seemed to like it right out of her hand,
Because you're
too.
into the 12-footer, you know what?
Yeah.
I thought it
5 feet heavier than draw the button.
in the end, though, if you're going to come deep, might as well come that deep.
Sorry.
okay.
If you just go back 4, Germany gets the freeze. Then it's tough, but to freeze this all the way in the back 12, a little bit harder. So you ever just over curl or under curl? There's so much space then between the back stone and the guard for Canada to come around, maybe bump it out for 3. So do you play the straight draw around the
The line's
guards?
fine, but it doesn't feel like she
Yeah, it
doesn't
really
look
changes
like she's
the
extending.
decision
I don't feel
because
like her rocks are traveling very
Rather
well.
than go to the back, because it's there. If it's back 4, you
Yeah.
play the freeze. If it's open, you play the hit. Now that they're both on the
Also
12 foot,
80 ist immer noch
you're throwing a
gut. Ja,
draw
ich will halt
against 2.
hinterher, weil ich will auf den drauf. Weil sie hat
Yeah,
den
throw it
Sandberg
perfect, you force or steal, but
Tippen für 3.
A
if
miss.
you ever leave it half open, it could be a 3 for Canada.
Ich war immer
Also
so hinten
wichtig
vier.
ist halt, er muss so oder so safe im Haus liegen bleiben,
Genau.
ansonsten wird es für 4. Ja.
Danielle Jentsch
Also Richtung
just
17.
thrown 1 draw so far in the game as well.
Ohne Wischen 6.
Immer ein bisschen anders.
Ja, sie hat andere
Ja,
Schuhe,
aber-
deswegen.
Also
Mach
so
mit Gefühl.
75, 80
Ja?
würde ich fast.
Und das reicht für hinten im Haus,
Ja,
oder?
ja.
Okay. Ansonsten so gut versteckt wie
Genau,
geht.
das passt.
Ich glaube, der braucht noch.
Linie ist gut. 6.
Ja, 8, 9, das muss noch können. Länge, nur Länge. Nur Länge. Nur Länge.
Brust auf, Brust auf.
Immer die Center. 8. Nur Länge, ja? Hard. 9.
Coming all the way back here. Just needing this one to curl though.
Hard, go, go, go. You're touching it. Go, 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 go.
Wow.
Good scrum.
Now brings that split into play.
Oh yeah, we have the split too. Didn't even think about that. Look.
I wasn't thinking it was going to be going through. I didn't think
No.
the split would be a factor at this point.
Ja, aber Leute, seht doch die Centerline.
Maybe a little quicker than the teams are thinking down the spot, but this because the sweepers were calling that around T-line at the start, and then calling 8-9, but back of the 8 foot. But it's all the way through, so it's a bad weight call from the sweepers.
I think I need more than I just threw on that.
Did sweep that a wee bit. You leave that perfectly alone and might just grab enough to make the freeze by itself.
I think it's worth it.
Sometimes knowing not to sweep is just as important.
On this side, that I'd probably be back 4.
Which should be close, right?
No, I need more.
A little more?
Yeah, it's easier if you can make it with back line. So I think I need. Thinking I would throw half in the good stuff.
Okay, I like it.
Doesn't look like a lot of ice. You think I need more?
You trying to cross
I
it?
like it. I like
Yours
it.
ran really straight.
Yeah.
Right? Your hip?
Yeah.
This is where you'd love to throw enough weight to make the split, but not so much that you go through the rings or tap your own stone out in the back if you don't make contact.
It's good. Weight's good.
Whoa. Close.
Well, they don't have to move that one far.
Weight's pretty good.
It's tight to the rings.
Weight's good. It's coming off.
You throw it close enough, you get at least 3. Throw it good though, you get a 4.
I'll try them, roll them both on, and look at that. Yeah, able to cross it enough, tap it in, roll the shooter, and there's 4 for Canada to go up 6-1 into the 5th end break. Well, look at the first half of this one. First end, and Jennifer Jones and team able to take advantage of the setup, the outturn draw. And it is good. Canada gets too early to start this game off. In the third end, Germany trying to keep the hammer after Jones made a long roll over to the side. Chance here. Got a hit and roll out to blanket. Daniela Jentsch unable to, so it is a single point. And then in the 5th, after Daniela Jentsch went through with her draw, open up the opportunity for a split here for Team Canada. And Jennifer Jones doesn't miss this opportunity, so Canada gets a 4 and a huge 5-point lead now in this 5th end break. We'll look at the other scores here in session 5. Switzerland leading Japan 4-3. Japan has the hammer in the 5th end break. Well, our game's sheet B, Canada leading Germany 6-1. Denmark leads Korea 3-2 in the 6th end. It is Denmark with the hammer there. And the Czech Republic, China, all square. 3-3 Czech Republic with the hammer as they only game into the 6th end already. Now look at the stats for the first 5. And it's a 6-1 Canadian lead. Overall percentage advantage Canada. Draw percentage, advantage Canada. Hit percentage, advantage Canada, 92% to 74%. As we see a 6-1 game. Well, the second half of our feature game, Germany taking on Canada. Don McEwen will get us started. 90% on the game for the Canadian lead. Luke Coley, Sandra Rovog, thanks for tuning in to the Ford World Women's Curling Championship. We're in session 5. Germany coming in looking for their first win. Canada trying to stay unbeaten and join Russia and Sweden atop the standings at the end of day 2.
They ran our clock, and then they stopped our clock. It ran for about some 10 seconds.
So gut aus. Vorbei. Denk dran, es läuft schneller.
1, 2, 2.
So first stone in, corner guard will go out in front. Sandra, is this a tough shot sometimes coming out of the fifth end break? You don't want to be deep. We've seen in other games Germany's had that stone out of the fifth end go into the rings.
This is what we call the pebble trap, at least in Europe, in well, Scandinavia anyway, where on the halftime break the ice technicians will come out, mop the sheets, takes up some of the debris, makes it a little bit quicker sometimes, and also putting a bit of pebble around the hack sometimes that just makes you come out the hack a little bit quicker, and also it feels a bit more rugged. So
the pebble trap, I'll have to use that now.
You'll actually see some players try and break down the pebble with the stone before they throw. I saw Sophia Malbecks do that earlier today, just running the stone up and down with her hand while she's waiting to throw, just so you come out a little bit smoother, because completely fresh pebbled, unclipped, might feel a bit rough. And that catches it a little bit. So sometimes it's a big difference, sometimes not as much.
And they run the mops up and there's no action on the ice, so it can actually speed it up a little bit coming out of the fifth end break.
Yeah, sometimes as much as like half a second on a hog-to-hog split.
Well, 2 corner guards out in front. We're 4 stones in. Now you can peel away, and Canada no doubt will do that with a 6-1 lead.
Yeah, it felt like that for almost came out of nowhere, really.
It was looking to possibly throughout the whole end, and I knew that if there was a mistake, that the split was possible.
Yeah, nope. I'm keeping it to myself.
But I didn't think that the split would become a factor. I didn't think Daniela Jentsch in that spot, especially after seeing Jones slide deep, would be that far through.
No, and if Jentsch's draw pulls up 2 feet shorter, it's a force and a 1 for Canada. Well, that's curling.
So goes just like that, the 4 points, and now a 5-point lead, and Germany has to go at it, try and keep stones around.
Look to tap these yellows up a little bit. Won't tap them very far. Leaves the red in the open as well.
Yeah, they seemed either needed to make a hit on the nose or more roll on it. I just don't think they threw enough weight. And this is tough because their shots are going to be much more difficult now than the Canadian side. Canadian side can play the hits, have more room for error.
Real hard, guys. Real hard. Hard. Good.
Nochmal da rein.
And so now everything into the rings.
So, ja. Der läuft ja auch ein bisschen besser.
Genau.
Ja, einfach mit Gefühl.
Genau.
What's the strategy here to try and get your at least 2 back? Do you guard it? Do you try and draw around? Do you put another guard on the side? See if you get a mistake out of Canada?
Well, they're thinking to throw the guard, protect this red stone, knowing that Canada will just peel the guard and might wait a few stones here before they make a move on the yellows. Well, this one is coming up all deep, so now trying to maybe find a corner freeze to try and lock it up a little bit. In the end, that's not a terrible result. It'll be tough to double off the reds there as it lies.
Just peel the one out. Try and just jiggle them around a bit. Yeah.
Whoever wants to peel it out.
Or jiggle them around.
I don't think so. This isn't in an awful spot for us right now. I mean,
no,
she
I just don't like
again.
the stagger because she might come around.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking of trying to open this one up.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Like a 9? Here?
Sure. And if I end up...
Do you want to come across the face, or?
No,
We've thrown this.
Yeah.
We've also thrown this. So.
We have, yeah. Let's throw the in, and if it doesn't curl enough.
A 9?
Sure.
So they want to try and change the angles a bit. When she said the stagger, what's she worried about there, those 2 on the center line?
Well, so because they're staggered, you can't really run them straight back. So if they just peel the red on the right here and roll out, Germany could come around those 2 staggered stones, and that'll be pretty much impossible to get to for Canada.
Can I have a hair left?
I believe saw a good example of that in the Brier final. Way back.
2004. Mark Dacey scoring 3 to beat Randy Ferbey in Alberta in the final.
Yep, that's
remember it?
a lesson. A lesson for the kids. Go back and watch the game.
Yeah, it is. Unless you're related to Randy Ferbey and his team, don't watch it again.
Okay.
Well, they don't quite jiggle it enough, and now they are staggered. You can go around all of them. Go to the back of the 4-foot with that intern. I think would be real nice.
Genau.
Oh, Mira Abyss. 73% on the game. You'll remember the team, not a sport soldier. She's a student. Playing in her first world championship.
Okay. Gut.
Well, still Canada lying 1 and just adding another one to the front.
Ja, braucht's auch, da ist Frost.
Tough hits a couple of stones, is going to need to move those to change things around to get rid of those reds.
Just don't want to leave her a double. Like, if you ever nose that and get this back here, it'd be great to tick this on the way by. Like, if you hit it 7/8.
Yeah.
You can throw a lot of weight at this, but I think we just lose all the yellows.
I'm either thinking we come around or we tap.
I don't mind the come around, and then she's got to deal with it, but she can get all the yellows flying.
Either that or I'm throwing a bomb at this and just getting this into the open. But I'm probably losing this one, so that's not good.
I think I like the tap better to unlock this. Because right now she can get all the yellows flying.
Okay, let's change the angle then.
Think you need back 8.
Yeah, and am I wanting to hit like...
I'd like to hit it 3/4.
Okay.
But if you ever get to the nose and just tap this back here, it's not terrible.
This isn't bad either.
Yeah, then she just hits and rolls off, right?
Yeah. Just trying to think of something where she doesn't get them all going.
We're here, we roll off. She's got, I think we try to change that angle a little bit. Back 8.
Well, Sandra, this is just listening to the dynamic, and they have played together. This is 8 years they played together as a team. But the last little bit, they haven't played as much together. As Caitlin Laws went off to play the mixed doubles at the Olympics. A different player, Shannon Burchard, who's their 5th, filled in at 3rd. So it was a different dynamic for Jennifer to have to learn. And now she steps back with Caitlin. Can that be hard on the player?
Probably a little bit, but Jennifer Jones has so much experience, and because they have played 8 years together, you'd think they will gel quite quickly back to normal, and they've been looking pretty solid so far. I don't think it'll be a major issue this week.
Well, Caitlin Laws won the Olympic gold medal in mixed doubles, the first ever time it was competed in.
But just trying to promote this yellow, chisel off their own in the top 8. That is exactly what they're looking to do, really.
Just change the angles. And Caitlin, as I said, won that mixed doubles gold medal. She also won a gold medal with this team in 2014 in Sochi, back-to-back
Not bad.
Olympic gold medals.
Either, maybe I woe it.
Wegnehmen.
Sonst gehen uns die Steine aus.
Ja.
So, dünn.
Gut, da könnt ihr.
Welchen Dünn? Ich hab's nicht.
Den rechten.
Den gelben und den rechten.
Auf Annalenas Seite?
Genau.
Also in-turn.
Ja.
Intern, genau.
Wie vorhin.
So right through the middle, or they...
Just a skinny double, if you will. Redirect off the top yellow onto their own red. Try and kill a few of the Canadian stones here.
Good.
Shoot, Amy.
Well, makes the double, leaves Canada lying 2 still. It opens up that one in the 4-foot. That one in the top of the 8-foot is, they're all lined up too.
Yeah, I think so, right here.
Even if we're
Back
here, it's not the end of the world. Just trying to count a couple of those.
It's going to be quite a bit heavier here.
Yes, I'd agree.
What I threw last end should be close.
I think so.
So Skip Stones and Jennifer Jones play the intern come around.
Okay.
Yeah, not very easy
It's
to
just
remove.
really they'll count those other ones.
Those
so
reds.
it's not really a line shot.
If you try and make a play on it, you're
obviously
just
we need to get
removing
by,
one of
like
your
even
own
if we're
yellows.
back 8.
Okay.
Might as well come in. It's at 3. There's only
I think it's going to be
a couple of rocks left for Germany.
Here. I think what I threw last end is close, but anything a little bit more or close?
I think close. I think you need more.
Well, it's that different path than they've thrown. 85% on the game and the tournament for Jennifer Jones.
Hard! Finally! Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Back 8! Hard! Mine's good! Gotta like no, it's not hard! Hard! Whoa! Whoa! Just whoa! 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 Whoa!
Sit.
Nice shot. That's good.
Well,
Yeah, keep down quite a bit.
They wanted to out-count those red stones, and that they do. July 3.
Good, Jen.
I think it's Caitlin woeing that at the end to let it stop in case they make the hit roll. They got the slash.
Is that deep?
No, I was not.
Think so.
calling it for deep. Like, it's gonna be.
Ich meine, bei so momentan habe ich gar nichts.
Ja, du hast recht.
Weil momentan habe ich das und dann macht sie die Kette.
Genau.
Das hilft mir auch
Oder
nichts.
willst
Deswegen ich muss
Timeout?
schon. Ha?
Oder willst du Timeout
Nee,
nehmen?
das ist zu.
This is where
Ich denke, aber
you
wir müssen
really
teilen,
want to
wir
bring
müssen
those
teilen.
red stones on the top
Und
of the
hoffen,
12
dass
into
es
play,
schneller
but
mal geht, dass ich
can you
danach
really?
vielleicht irgendwas habe.
I don't think so.
Treffen?
Not with just 2 stones.
Schnell.
Ich würde ihn schon eher von außen.
Normal, oder? Also viel würde ich fast nicht, weil dann geht der.
yeah, well, you're 5 down, so you're a little bit desperate at this point.
Die sind, ja, die verlieren so an
Got to
Länge.
take a chance a little bit.
Ja, dann.
Ich würde schon so
Quite hard to
schnell,
remove.
ein bisschen außen,
even just the
dass
2
der
yellows
da
here.
vorne sogar auch bleibt.
Ja.
Ansonsten Nase wäre auch okay.
Okay.
Ich gebe relativ wenig, weil ich muss schon ein bisschen Bums haben.
Gut, auf
Gut,
geht's.
ja.
So if you nose that top red one, you get 1 yellow out.
Yeah, I think just the one top of the 8 on the center line.
Gut, auf geht's.
Depending on how hard she throws here, the top red might spill out the side door as well. But just want to try and open it up a little bit, create some other angles, and hope she might be left a circus shot on her last one for a multiple score.
Well, the rocket from Daniela Jentsch.
You don't want to catch the outside here, I think.
Okay.
Well, they don't remove any other than their own. Just overthrew that one, knowing she is
Ja,
moving
sobald
some
ich ein
rocks.
bisschen mehr
But
mitgebe, fallen sie noch mehr. Aber jetzt liegt er da.
Okay.
Ja, sobald ich mehr Länge mitgebe.
barely made contact with that top one, and it didn't go anywhere.
Okay. I mean, I guess if she's short, it's not the end of the world.
It might be a guard out here, but that's okay. Hey, you can be short too, yeah.
I think this is going to even be heavier than the other side.
Yeah, a little bit. I agree.
Quite a bit wider.
This is where you look at the house and
Really
think,
want it to
well,
overcurl. Do you think
That's too much ice.
Außen treffen war schon richtig, aber halt.
Edge, get this. Edges to the center line.
Then like here then?
even if you don't throw, what does Germany have?
it's about the same, hey?
Has that quiet hit and roll to try and get one.
Probably, so that's what they're trying to take away. Coming into the house is fine, but like they said, you should throw this guard as well. The line is more important.
Room. Line's good.
Jennifer Jones,
That's running. It looks like it's
Olympic
gonna
gold
go.
medalist,
Come on.
2008 world champion.
Gotta curl a bit.
Whoa, needs to finish.
Yeah, what, maybe. Hard. Hard line.
Hard line,
Hard. A little more.
Hard. Go, go, go.
Nice shot.
Good.
Good, Jen. Good, Jen.
Well, it looks like there might just be a hole.
Took a while to come over.
It's tough.
Rock deeper and it's perfect, eh?
Right? It's
Pretty
been
good.
good.
Pretty tough hole.
Yeah.
Dass der auf den läuft, aber das geht jetzt nicht aus. Du musst eigentlich fast schauen, dass du was abhängst. Das eine.
Ich weiß nicht, wie groß die Lücke ist, ob wir da so durchkommen.
Du hast den drei Viertel. Drei Viertel.
3/4 of the rock
Reicht uns nach.
is what she can see from the hack, according to
Aber er
Annalena
muss halt
Jentsch.
schnell sein wahrscheinlich, oder?
I think it
Relativ,
can't play a
also
quiet
normal,
hit. You got to play
normal.
weight at it. But you also got to try and
Ja, ist auf jeden
hit
Fall,
and stick
ja.
in the forefoot and the button to get one.
Also die Linie wird da zum Sehen.
Ja, der bringt uns
Wie
nichts.
viel Platz habe ich?
It's where you, if you stare long enough at the problem,
Bisschen weniger. Ja.
Does it get better?
some magical
Ja, dann halt
solution might appear.
schnell.
There's maybe a triple on for 2, but because Jennifer Jones came in fully to the 12 foot,
Okay.
it's not there.
Ah, ich denke, da kommen wir.
So it is through the hole for 1.
Oder
From
mein
this view,
Kraftweg
that
reicht.
the shot looked a little bit better for Jones. I thought they left a bigger hole.
Yeah, and as she said, if it was a rock deeper, it takes it completely away.
This is still pretty tough.
It's almost enough of a hole that it forces you play it, but it's
Gerade bleiben.
you can't
dann
throw
halt
the
zum
weight that
Schluss
you want to.
Ich
In a perfect world.
It's almost like if you make the hole, you make the shot. It's hard to go through the hole and miss.
Well, we'll find out here. Last stone, 6th end. Daniela Jentsch.
Whoa, Astrid! Yep. Yeah! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Well, curl up, get past that top one, and they touch it. They overswept it in anticipating the curl, and it's a steal of 2.
Ja. Also wenn ich die andere wegschubsen muss, weil du nicht hörst.
So it is
Also
a
war gut,
steal
dass du
of
sie
2,
weggecheckt hast.
and Canada takes an 8-1 lead after 6 ends. So close to making that, but just that little bit. And a 7-point Canadian lead. Well, and that is it. They see the score go up, and it is a Canadian victory as they knock off Germany 8-1 the final. So Canada improves to 3-0. Will play China tomorrow, while Germany drops to 0-3.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Well, our feature game, Germany-Canada, in the first end. Canada in control, set up for their 2, and Jennifer Jones an opportunity to cap it off with a deuce. Draws into the center of the rings, and it's an early 2-0 lead for Canada. Third end, Germany had a chance for 2, but a mistake by Daniela Jentsch means she has a chance to blank the end, but hits, sticks, and it is a single point taken by Germany. Cut the lead in half. And into the 5th end after a Jentsch miss for Germany going through the house. Opens up the split for 4 for Canada. And an opportunity to jump out to a huge end and a huge lead in the game. Split for 4, goes up 6-1 to the break. And then in the 6th end, Daniela Jentsch has to get through it. Port just left open by Team Canada, but doesn't get by the top. Ticks the red. Means a steal of 2, and that's enough. Germany concedes defeat as they fall to 0-3. Canada improves to 3-0 at this year's Ford World Women's Curling Championship. The other scores here in session 5. Japan, Switzerland 4-4 in the 7th. Switzerland with the hammer. Final on sheet B, our feature game, 8-1. Canada defeats Germany. 4-2 Denmark over Korea. And 7-3 Czech Republic leading China, playing in the 7th end. Well, and after our game ended early, an 8-1 final, that wraps up our coverage here of this game of Canada-Germany. For Sandra Rovog, myself, Luke Coley, entire crew. Thanks for watching. We'll see you the rest of the Ford World Women's Curling Championship.